fairly busy day. Thought I'd let you see some of the things that we've done. This is one of the daylily gardens. It's got a lot of goosegrass in it, but usually the daylilies grow up and choke it all out, so I'm not too worried about that. This is a little shade garden that we planted earlier. You can see the asparagus is tall. This is a second year planting, so I didn't really take any harvests off of this. We got some parsley that's come back, and the rosemary that we planted earlier is still hanging in there. It hasn't really taken off yet. The oregano is doing beautifully. This is last year's, and right next to it is this year's brand. The thyme that we planted is taking off nicely, and the lemon balm from last year is doing beautifully. And we have a hosta that's living in here also. I just found out that they're edible. I don't know how you can eat them, but that's what they said. I've got some biblos in here, and if you look real closely, the lavender that we planted is still there. It just hasn't done anything yet. Same with the spearmint. It's not grown real big yet either, but it's working on it. And then of course I got a bunch of violets that I kept in here. I'm going to have to get a new focal point or statue or whatever for the center here, because my little well has just about seen better days. But I will show you what I have been up to today. Oh, the chicken, they just put those up. Actually got an egg from them. There's only one hen in that one. This is the chicken park. It used to be an old dog kennel, but I converted it into a chicken park, and it's got 2 hens in it right now. This is a little garden I'm just started. It's got a few plants came back in from last year. There's a plant there. It was as big as this one until it got hit by the lawnmower. But I'm going to put some the transplants I've got upstairs. They're going to go in here. The painted daisies and the butterfly bush is going to go around here. But this is what I did today. I weeded all of this all the way down. And then take a walk with me, and I'll show you the other garden I weeded. This is the wildlife garden. Now it doesn't get weeded much because it's supposed to be wildflowers basically. And this is where I had all those Virginia bluebells blooming earlier. And there are just a few more still blooming right there. But most of them have bloomed and are now going to seed. I also have a couple of new ones in here that haven't really shown up yet. I have a trillium planted in there, and I have a couple other plants over there, and a bleeding heart that's up, but it just hasn't bloomed yet. Yeah, is it going to come in focus or not? There we go. Yeah, it's in there. And then I have a piney. There. That's coming up. And here's the rest of this garden that I just showed you that I just weeded today. But here is the main project today. I cleared this hillside off, for one purpose only. We don't mow back there, and it's mainly just weeds that come up and stuff. But I thought it would be really pretty to put some wildflowers. So I'm gonna broadcast this whole area with these seeds. And that's going to be the last thing I do for tonight, and there'll be time to go in and start some supper. So, let's get this done. Looks like we got a bunch of different seeds in here. This is just a portion of them. We'll start in the far corner and work our way down. Just going to broadcast them. Okay, that's done. It says it should take 7 to 21 days before we see anything. And of course, we probably won't see anything because they're in the leaves. I won't be able to tell them from the weeds. But we tried. The other thing I did is I trimmed all the weeds on this little bump of a ground that we, let's see, last year this was a mess. It was tall trees and shrubs and everything that we cut down, and now we're just slowly working on it and getting it down so it's level to the ground. Hopefully by next year we can just mow right over it and not have any problem. And then last of all, I weeded this side today. And hopefully about next week, when it warms up a little bit more, all those little wildflowers, the painted daisies and the butterfly bushes, will be put out into these two lone gardens. If you're wondering what I'm tripping over, that is the little culprit. He is my garden cat. He follows me everywhere. So, that is what we did today. That and underneath the area where I set up for archery. And there is my deer, my target, one of my targets. I better put my hoe in. I forgot to take it in. So that was the sum total of what I did today. And I think it looks pretty doggone good. Most of the narcissus and the not daylilies, but the daffodils have stopped blooming. But I got a bunch of daylilies that will be blooming next. And hopefully next year when I get painted daisies in, we'll have a lot more color back here. So, hope everybody's staying safe and have a good evening. Remember, dream big. Bye.